Hi there. Today, this is the story of the machine behind a daily chore and the woman who made its central idea practical. Follow her from a problem with fragile dishes to a patented system that changed kitchen technology. Chapter 1: The Machine Behind a Daily Chore. Today, we are looking at a machine most people use without thinking about it. It sits in a kitchen, waits quietly, and then turns a pile of dirty dishes into clean ones. But more than 100 years ago, washing dishes was slow, tiring, and often hard on delicate plates. So who built one of the first practical machines to solve that problem? And why did the solution come from Josephine Cochrane, a woman working outside the usual world of engineering? The answer is not a simple story about a gadget. It is a story about precision, frustration, and the moment a household problem became a serious engineering challenge. Chapter 2: A Problem of Care and Control. Josephine Garris was born in 1839 in Ohio. She grew up in a family connected to engineering and invention, and she was comfortable around ideas, tools, and practical problem solving. Later, after marriage, she became Josephine Garris Cochrane. She also lived in a world where fine dishes were valuable, and hand washing was the normal method. A person had to hold each plate, rub it, rinse it, and place it somewhere to dry. A careless movement could chip a plate or break a cup. The work took time, but the real problem was control. Water alone was not enough. A useful machine had to clean every surface while keeping every dish safely in place. That question became the center of Cochrane's design. How can water do the work without letting the dishes collide? Chapter 3: Earlier Ideas, Better Engineering. It is important to be precise here. Cochrane did not invent the idea of a machine for cleaning dishes from nothing. Earlier devices had been proposed and patented. Some were difficult to use, and many did not become successful products. Cochrane's achievement was different. She developed a practical system that treated the dishes as carefully arranged objects. Her machine used compartments or racks to hold them. Then it sent strong jets of water through the spaces. Instead of scrubbing one dish by hand, the machine created a controlled washing action around many dishes at once. This was a clever combination of two ideas: organized support and directed water. The racks protected the dishes. The jets provided the force. In modern language, it was a system designed around both cleaning and safety. Chapter 4: Building the Washer. Cochrane worked with a mechanic, George Butters, to build the machine. The process was not a small kitchen experiment that worked perfectly on the first try. It required measurements, parts, adjustments, and a clear understanding of how water moved. Imagine the challenge. If the water was too weak, the dishes stayed dirty. If the force was poorly directed, some surfaces were missed. If the plates were too close together, they could touch. The machine needed the right distance, the right angle, and a way to keep its load stable. The design became a rotating rack inside a copper boiler. Water was pushed through pipes and sprayed toward the dishes. The operator did not need to scrub every plate. The machine created a repeatable process. That word matters: repeatable. An invention becomes useful when it can do the same important job again and again. Chapter 5: The Patent. On December 28, 1886, Josephine G. Cochrane received U.S. Patent No. 355,139 for an improved dishwashing machine. The patent described a machine with racks or compartments for dishes and a system that directed streams of water through them. The wording of a patent can sound formal, but the central idea is easy to understand. The machine had to hold objects in place and wash them with moving water. Cochrane's invention was not simply a container that made dishes wet. It was a coordinated mechanical system. This is why the most accurate description is not that she was the first person to imagine a dishwasher. Her contribution was creating one of the first practical and successful designs, and protecting that design through a patent. The patent gave the invention a legal identity, but a patent alone does not guarantee that people will use a machine. The next challenge was trust. Chapter 6. From Invention to Customers. Early dishwashers were large, expensive, and more useful for hotels, restaurants, and institutions than for an average home. A busy kitchen could see the value of cleaning many dishes quickly. A household, however, had to pay for the machine, find space for it, and learn how to operate it. Cochrane understood that an invention needed customers, not only attention. She worked to build machines for professional kitchens. Her design was recognized at the 1893 World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago, where it received a prize for mechanical construction, durability, and usefulness. That recognition did not instantly place a dishwasher in every home, but it showed that a machine created by a woman outside the traditional engineering establishment could be judged seriously on its design and performance. The story also reminds us that invention is often a long process. A useful idea may need better factories, cheaper materials, new plumbing, and changing habits before it becomes ordinary. Chapter 7. Why the idea lasted. Modern dishwashers are very different from Cochrane's original machine. They use electric pumps, electronic controls, heated water, detergents, filters, and carefully designed cycles. But the basic problem remains familiar. Arrange the dishes, direct the water, control the force, and repeat the process. Her design addressed several questions that still matter today. How should objects be supported? How can water reach hidden surfaces? How can a machine clean strongly without causing damage? These are engineering questions, not just kitchen questions. There is also a lesson about who gets remembered as an inventor. Cochrane was not working in a famous laboratory. She was solving a problem close to daily life. Because the problem looked ordinary, it could be easy to overlook the intelligence required to solve it. But ordinary problems can contain difficult systems. A cup is simple. A machine that washes hundreds of cups without breaking them is not. Chapter 8. The woman behind the machine. Josephine Cochrane died in 1913, but her work continued through the machines and companies that developed from her design. Much later, in 2006, she was inducted posthumously into the National Inventors Hall of Fame. Her legacy is not that one person suddenly created the entire modern dishwasher. Technology rarely moves in one step. Her legacy is that she turned an everyday frustration into a controlled, patented, and commercially meaningful system. She also demonstrated something important about innovation. You do not need to begin with a famous title. You need a clear problem, the patience to test ideas, and the courage to make a design precise enough to work in the real world. The next time a dishwasher hums through its cycle, remember the question at the heart of Cochrane's invention: how can water move with enough power to clean and enough control to protect what matters? That question helped change a household chore into a machine, and Cochrane's story was only beginning. Chapter 9. Closing. Josephine Cochrane did not simply make dishwashing faster. She helped show that domestic work could be a serious field for engineering. Her machine joined protection, pressure, movement, and timing in one practical design. And that may be the most useful part of her story. Innovation does not always look dramatic when it begins. Sometimes it starts with a pile of dishes, a problem that seems too ordinary for history, and a person who decides that the old way is not good enough. Stories like this remind us that useful ideas can begin with ordinary problems. This was another story from the English Vault. Josephine Cochrane's life reminds us that useful ideas can begin with ordinary problems. Keep learning, keep asking questions, and remember, behind many everyday objects, there is a problem someone had to solve. I will see you in the next one.